Collecting Books with Danny the Puppet.
Hi, it is I, Danny the Puppet, and new year means we should probably take a look at some new bots. So let's talk about some bots I've got after Christmas in the early new year. Found some really good ones, and they're varying in quality. So I'm mostly focusing on ones I picked up after Christmas. So I know there's some other ones I picked up like Quintus Prime, and I think I picked up Amalgamus Prime before Christmas. But I'm going to focus on some ones I found after Christmas. Two of them I found in stores, and two of them I got from Amazon Prime, who is not a Transformer, believe it or not. How in the world is there not a Transformer named Amazon Prime? Anyways, let's start with the first one I picked up. The first one I picked up was a surprise. It was one I didn't plan to pick up, but it was Studio Series 86 Soundwave. Had some gift cards going, and I figured if I found Soundwave, I'd pick him up and give him a try, because he looks pretty cool. And I was glad I did. A lot of people told me I shouldn't have tried to put him off because he is a really good figure. It is the best standard Soundwave so far. And he's nice, good quality plastic, tight joints, transforms into a cassette recorder. Trying to explain that to kids what that is. Obviously, they're catering to collectors with this one. But I loved him. But you know what I had trouble with? The tapes. Now, to be fair, they're not that bad. But the Ween Formation and Buzzsaw and the Ween Formation Laserbeak just seem wrong. Ravage I actually like better than the last Ravage that was released, but he turns into something that looks like a chunk of plastic, not a cassette tape. I wish they would put more effort into their cassette tape forms. But the good part is the old figures that came out with Earthrise and War for Cybertron fit just fine, including Studio Series 86 Rumble, who is blue like me, and Frenzy, who is red. Or if you want to flip them around or make them purple or pink or something, I don't know. Anyways, that was the first one I picked up, and I was really pleased. I'm giving them a 10 out of 10, maybe a 9 out of 10 because of the cassette tapes that aren't quite right. Then I move on to the next one I picked up. The next one I picked up was Sure Shot. I actually had them on pre-order, but I found them in a store, so I was so excited I canceled the pre-order, and I purchased them in store. And I'll tell you, I'm kind of disappointed. Sure Shot, the transformation is not enjoyable, which is always a good gauge of whether a transformer is good. I did not enjoy the transformation. The plastic seems really weak, which is interesting because I feel Studio Series has better plastic, whereas the standard Age of Primes line is hit and miss. The plastic seemed really cheap. I was worried he would break while I was transforming him. Joints are a little looser on the one I have, particularly on the feet. And he has these weird fin things that keep coming off when I transform him. But boy, does he look good in robot mode. And then he's got his little robot partner there. I feel like they didn't do a very good job on that. I get it, they're trying to save money on the mold and everything, but those weird spaces between his legs and everything just seem odd, especially when we've seen them make really good Target Masters in the War for Cybertron line. Let's move on to the third one. I'll give Sure Shot, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. He looks so good in both modes, but not very playable in a lot of ways. Then the next one I have, I really wanted to love this one, and I kind of do. Junkion Jalopy. It's another Age of Primes one, and again, I feel like the plastic is cheaper. He keeps falling apart on mine. He's got some loose joints. It might just be uniquely the version I have, because some people have said theirs have really tight joints, but I've heard constant things popping off, typical of weaponizers. Jalopy Junkion looks good, though. Really does. Fills out that Junkion collection, because they did release this mold before in purple, and this one actually matches the Junkions a little better. And even has the head from Toe Line, which is kind of cool. I'm going to have to give this one a 7, too. Again, feels cheap plastic and keeps falling apart on me. But hey, it's a Junkion, so you know that kind of happens. The last one I'm going to talk about that I got this year so far, Studio Series 86 Wind Charger. Oh, this one is great. I've been waiting for Wind Charger in ages. Completes my mini-bots from 1984. Completes my 1984 Arc Crew. And again, the plastic is great. The transformation is a little odd because it's kind of a shell former where the shell of the car comes up over the transformer and you're turning to car mode. but the figure's so solid and he looks so good. And like I said, he completes a lot of parts of my collection for me, so I'm happy to have him. Wind Charger, other than the shell forming, he's pretty good, so I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. It's a really good figure. I encourage you to get it. His head, since it's not on a thing where it tilts, has a little button on back where you can tilt his head up and down. Kind of a neat feature. Didn't find any explanation about the instructions, but a lot of people online told me that's what it's for, and it makes a lot of sense. Well, that's all I have for collecting bots this week. Collecting bots is getting a little harder with those price increases. Interestingly, every single one I talked about here, I found at pre-2026 prices. Target seems to have not raised prices yet, so happy hunting. Hope you can find some good finds. See you next week on Collecting Bots. Bye.